So Ohio passed legislation that exempted school construction from Ohio's prevailing wage requirements. And recently, a nonpartisan report by the State of Ohio Legislative Service Commission found indications of $487.9 million in aggregate savings, a savings of 10.7% over a 5-year period. According to our Department of Education's PlanCon documentation, our school district spent over $7 billion on school construction and renovation projects that were bid between February of 2000 and May of 2010. If Pennsylvania school districts were to save 10% of the construction costs on those projects, it would be an additional $700 million that could have been used to develop or improve educational programs, or could have remained in the hands of local taxpayers. I'm a sponsor of Senate Bill 838. It's legislation that would allow school districts and municipal governments the option to opt out of prevailing wage requirements. And my question to you is this: can we, like Ohio, empower our local school officials with a tool that would allow them to make a determination as to whether or not we follow the provisions of the Prevailing Wage Act, or other options that they believe would be in the best educational interest of their students, or the best interest of their constituents, the people who elected them and the taxpayers who pay their bills?
I'm not familiar with the Ohio legislation, and I'd love to get a look at it.
As a former educator, I'm sure that you know the challenges that local school boards face.
I do.
In holding the line on probably the most onerous tax bill that people receive, their local school property tax bill, as well as provide for the educational needs of their students. It's a big amount of money that we could plow back into the hands of hardworking Pennsylvanians or use to improve educational outcomes in the classroom. Would you not agree?
I would agree that I would like to look at your legislation in more detail and see the Ohio legislation and see how that, if possible, could be applied in Pennsylvania. There are a lot of good things about prevailing wage as well, and that's something that we would have to look at and balance.
Well, I would welcome the opportunity to continue that conversation, and finding those additional resources would be, I'm sure, greatly appreciated by hardworking Pennsylvanians.